The notification came while I was helping my son Daniel with his physical therapy exercises. A new post from my sister, Victoria, family portrait, 3 generations of love. I clicked it, expecting to see the beautiful photo we taken at Mom's 70th birthday party last month. The photographer had arranged all 15 of us perfectly. Daniel, my 12-year-old son, had been right in the front row in his wheelchair, beaming with pride. But in Victoria's posted version, Daniel was gone. The photo had been cropped so tightly that it cut off at my waist, eliminating Daniel's wheelchair entirely. Where my son should have been, there was just empty space, hastily filled with a blur effect. My hands started shaking. I looked at the caption, "Perfect family moment." Finally got the composition right. Love these people. Finally got the composition right. I scrolled through the comments. 30 people had already liked it. Family members were commenting, "Beautiful. Frame-worthy. What a gorgeous family." None of them mentioned Daniel's absence. I walked to Daniel's room. He was on his bed, reading a book about marine biology. At 12, he was whip-smart, funny, and obsessed with ocean creatures. He'd been born with spinal muscular atrophy. His wheelchair wasn't a tragedy, it was just how he moved through the world. "Hey, buddy, how's the book?" "Mom, did you know that octopuses have 3 hearts?" 3. That's so cool. I smiled, my heart breaking. That is pretty cool. I didn't tell him about the photo, not yet. That evening, after Daniel was asleep, I called Victoria. "Hey," she answered, bright and cheerful. "Did you see the family photo I posted? It came out great, right?" "Victoria, where's Daniel?" Silence. "What do you mean?" "You cropped Daniel out of the photo, my son, your nephew. He's not in the picture you posted." "Oh." Her voice changed, becoming defensive. "I didn't crop him out. I just adjusted the composition. The wheelchair was throwing off the symmetry. It was making the photo look unbalanced." "Unbalanced," I repeated slowly. "You know what I mean. From a design perspective, the photo needed better visual flow. The wheelchair created this weird focal point that drew the eye away from everyone's faces. I'm actually doing some professional photography now, so I know about these things. You edited my son out of a family photo because his wheelchair disrupted your visual flow. God, Jennifer, don't make it sound like that. It's not about Daniel. It's about the photo, about capturing the family in the best possible way. I thought you'd appreciate having a really beautiful family portrait for once." "For once," I said, meaning the ones with Daniel in them aren't beautiful. "That's not what I said. You're twisting my words. Look, I spent 3 hours editing that photo to make it perfect. I was doing something nice for the family, but if you want to be offended, fine. I'll just never share family photos again." She hung up. I sat in my kitchen, staring at my phone. The photo was still up on Victoria's page, accumulating likes and comments. My son, erased. Made invisible because his existence didn't fit someone's aesthetic vision. I opened the original photo on my phone, the one the photographer had sent to all of us. It was beautiful. All of us together, smiling, Daniel right in the center with his infectious grin. His wheelchair was decorated with stickers of sea creatures he carefully placed. You could see his personality in every detail. This was my family. This was the truth. I made a decision. I posted the original photo on my own page. No filters, no edits, no cropping. Just our family as we actually were. And I wrote a simple caption. "This is our real family. All of us. No one cropped out for symmetry. No one erased because their wheelchair disrupts the composition. My son Daniel is part of this family, and any photo that excludes him isn't a family portrait. It's a lie." I hit post and went to bed. When I woke up, my phone was exploding. 127 shares, 430 comments, and climbing. Comments poured in. "As a wheelchair user, thank you. I've been cropped out my whole life. My brother has CP and my aunt does this constantly. Your son's smile is the best part of that photo." By lunch, 2,000 shares. The post had gone viral. Victoria's cropped version was getting different attention now. People were commenting, "Why did you crop out your nephew? Saw the original. Shame on you." Victoria's phone started ringing at noon. I know because my mother called me furious. "Jennifer, what have you done?" "Victoria is getting death threats. People are calling her work. She's having a panic attack. How could you do this to your sister?" I posted a photo of my family, Mom. That's all I did. You made her look like a monster. You turned the whole internet against her, over one edited photo. One edited photo that erased my son from existence. She didn't mean it like that. You know Victoria. She's artistic. She was just trying to make something beautiful. And Daniel isn't beautiful to her. His wheelchair makes our family ugly. Mom's voice softened. That's not what anyone thinks. But now Victoria's career could be ruined. People are leaving one-star reviews on her photography business. They're calling her ableist. This is going to destroy her. Maybe she should have thought about that before she decided my son didn't deserve to be in a family photo. Jennifer, please, take down the post. Let this die down. Victoria's sorry. She didn't realize it would upset you this much. Tell Victoria to call me herself. I hung up. But Victoria didn't call. Instead, the story spread beyond my post. Disability advocates shared it. News blogs picked it up. Sister Crop's disabled nephew from family photo was trending. Victoria's photography business was overwhelmed with negative reviews. Someone created a side-by-side comparison highlighting exactly where Daniel should have been. At 3 o'clock, there was a knock on my door. Victoria stood there, and she looked destroyed. Her eyes were swollen from crying. Her hands were shaking. She was holding something against her chest, a framed photo. Can I come in? Her voice was barely a whisper. I let her in. She sat on my couch, still clutching the frame. My business is ruined, she said. I've gotten 200 emails today. 40 of them are clients canceling. 3 are potential lawsuits for discrimination. My phone hasn't stopped ringing. The local news called. My boss at the marketing firm said I'm on suspension pending an investigation into whether I created a hostile environment. I've been called every name imaginable. I said nothing. I lost 3,000 followers in 6 hours. My website crashed from traffic. Someone created a parody account mocking my symmetry obsession. I'm a meme now. Symmetry sister, that's what they're calling me. Victoria, let me finish. She looked at me, tears streaming down her face. I deserve all of it. She held out the frame. It was the original photo, the full, uncropped version with Daniel front and center. I printed this today, before everything exploded. I was looking at the 2 versions side by side, trying to figure out how to defend myself. And then I really looked at them. Really looked. She pointed to her cropped version on her phone. This one is technically balanced. The composition follows all the rules. The visual weight is distributed evenly. It's what I was taught makes a good photo. Then she pointed to the original. But this one has Daniel. And when I actually looked at it, not as a photographer judging composition, but as an aunt looking at her nephew, I realized the cropped version isn't just missing Daniel. It's missing the heart of the photo. His joy. His personality. The way everyone is angled slightly toward him because that's where the love is flowing. She was crying harder now. I erased the best part of the photo because I was so obsessed with rules and aesthetics that I forgot what actually matters. I made my nephew invisible because his wheelchair didn't fit my idea of perfect. What kind of person does that? I felt my own tears starting. I've been getting messages from other people with disabilities, Victoria continued, telling me their stories about being excluded from photos, from family events, from memories. About relatives who treat their wheelchairs or braces or differences as problems to be hidden. And I realize I'm that relative. I'm the person who makes disabled family members feel like they're not good enough. She looked down at the framed photo. Daniel is in the center of this picture for a reason. Not because of where the photographer put him, but because that's where he belongs. He's the center of our family. He's the one who makes everyone smile. And I tried to delete him for symmetry. Victoria. I'm so sorry. She looked at me directly. I'm sorry to you for dismissing your anger. I'm sorry to Daniel for treating him like he's less than. I'm sorry to every person with a disability who's been erased or excluded or told they ruined the aesthetic. I was wrong. Completely, horribly wrong. What you did hurt, I said. It hurt me, and it's going to hurt Daniel when he finds out. I know, and I can't take it back, but I can try to do better. She held out the framed photo. I want Daniel to have this, with a note from me apologizing and telling him that he makes every photo better, not worse. And I want to donate the entire month's proceeds from my photography business, whatever's left of it, to an adaptive sports program. Because I need to do something more than just say sorry. The internet is destroying you, I said quietly. Your business, your reputation. Was that what you wanted? What I wanted. Victoria looked confused. Did you come here because you're actually sorry or because you want me to post something defending you to make this go away? She was quiet for a long moment. 6 hours ago, I would have said yes. I came here planning to beg you to post something, to fix this, to save my career. But sitting in my apartment, reading message after message from people I've never met, telling me how I made them feel invisible, I realized I don't deserve to be saved from this. Victoria. No, let me finish. I did something cruel. I hurt a child, my nephew, because I cared more about likes and perfect composition than about his dignity. The fact that people are angry about that's the right response. I should face consequences. My business should suffer, because maybe that's what it takes for me to actually understand the damage I caused. She stood up, leaving the framed photo on my coffee table. I'm not asking you to forgive me. I'm not asking you to take down your post or defend me or make this easier. I'm just asking that someday, maybe they'll let me try to be a better aunt to Daniel. Because he deserves that. Even if I don't. She walked to the door, then turned back. And Jennifer? Thank you for posting that photo, for refusing to let me erase him. Someone needed to hold me accountable. I'm glad it was you. After she left, I sat looking at the framed photo. Daniel's face beamed up at me, surrounded by family, exactly where he belonged. When Daniel got home from school, I showed him both photos, the cropped one and the original. I explained what Victoria had done and what had happened since. He looked at them for a long time. Then he asked, "Does Aunt Victoria think I'm ugly?" My heart shattered. No, baby. She made a terrible mistake about what makes a photo beautiful. She was wrong, and she knows it now. My wheelchair isn't ugly, Daniel said firmly. It has my stickers on it. And it helps me go places. It's awesome. You're absolutely right. Your wheelchair is awesome, and you're awesome. He looked at the framed photo Victoria had left. She gave me this? Yes, with an apology. Daniel studied it. It's a good photo. Everyone looks happy. He pointed to himself in the center. And I'm right here, where I should be. Yes, you are. Can we hang it in my room? Of course we can. That evening, the story was on 3 major news sites. Viral post exposes ableism in family photos. Read one headline. Another. Sister's photo edit sparks conversation about disability representation. Victoria posted a public apology on all her platforms, not a defensive explanation or a plea for forgiveness, but a genuine acknowledgement of what she'd done wrong and what she was learning. She shared resources about ableism. She announced her donation to the adaptive sports program. She posted the original photo with Daniel front and center. Some people accepted her apology. Many didn't. Her business would take years to recover, if it ever did. But she didn't ask me to make it easier for her. 3 weeks later, Victoria asked if she could take Daniel out for ice cream, just the 2 of them. I agreed, watching carefully. When they came back, Daniel was chattering excitedly. Aunt Victoria knows so much about octopuses, and she said I could help her with a photography project about adaptive sports. She wants to make a whole series showing how cool wheelchairs and other equipment can be. Victoria caught my eye. Only if that's okay with you, and only if Daniel wants to. I want to, Daniel said. We're going to show people that wheelchairs are awesome, right, Aunt Victoria? Right, she said softly, because they are. And you are. Over the following months, Victoria did the work. She attended disability awareness workshops. She volunteered at adaptive programs. She learned and listened and changed. The viral post eventually faded from public attention, as these things do, but its impact remained. I received messages from hundreds of people sharing their own stories of being excluded or erased. Parents thanking me for standing up for my son, and disabled adults saying they'd never seen their experiences validated so publicly. And Victoria's photography project went viral too, but this time for the right reasons. Her series, Beautiful as We Are, featured dozens of disabled athletes and kids, wheelchairs, braces, and oxygen tanks front and center, captured with the same technical skill she'd always had, but now with actual heart behind it. She never got her old business back to where it was, but she built something different, something better, something that actually mattered. Daniel's framed photo still hangs in his room. He points to it sometimes and says, "That's when Aunt Victoria learned that symmetry isn't as important as family." He's right. And sometimes the hardest lessons come from being held accountable by 2,000 strangers on the internet who refuse to let cruelty hide behind aesthetics. My son wasn't a disruption to the photo's composition. He was its center. He always had been. It just took a viral post and a destroyed reputation for some people to finally see it.